Hello, welcome back to my channel. I was really trying to figure out where to film this video because I wanted to give it like a zen vibe so that it went with like the de-stressing mood of the video, but I don't know, I figured this is a room where I like meditate and like I work out and really where I release like most of my stress. So why not here? So one of the first things that I've always done and that has always helped me manage like my stress or like my anxiety and really kind of just like clear my mind when I'm very stressed out is going on a walk. Going on a walk though is really helpful and it's really nice, and spending time outside is so beneficial. Like I feel like just being outside and getting some vitamin D from the sun and like just breathing in the fresh air and seeing different things, to me that's just always so helpful. But I just honestly feel like walking has so many benefits. Not only that, like to clear my mind and everything, but like the fact that it is a cardiovascular activity, so like you're definitely also like boosting your health and your immune system and everything, all the positives that go with moving your body. And it releases endorphins because exercise releases endorphins, so that's always a great way to boost your mood. Along with going on a walk and like being on nature and stuff like that, like if you can just move your body, it's so important. As I mentioned, obviously like it does release endorphins and endorphins make you happy. And I really want to say the Legally Blonde line, but anyway, moving your body is great for your health, both physical and mentally. And so I think that it is very important, if you can, to move your body. Like I said, it could be just a walk, it could be like an actual full-on weightlifting, bar, Pilates, whatever workout session you want to do. It could be that too. But at the end of the day, if you're moving your body, that is so important and it really just like helps you. Another thing that helps me manage my stress is meditating, and I will be fully transparent, and honestly meditating as a stress management practice was not a thing for me until recently. Quite the opposite. Like meditating actually generated a lot more stress for me because I didn't know how to do it. I just thought that like when you were meditating, all you had to do was just like put your mind or like quiet your thoughts and like make your mind kind of like go blank, and that to me is very hard because I just have like a million thoughts going through my mind all the time. So just like quieting my mind is very difficult, and that's why like meditating would actually generate a lot more stress, because I was like, I can't do this, and it would drive me insane that people would be like, meditating is great for you, and I'm like, well, it doesn't happen for me, it just doesn't work. So it wasn't until I was talking to a friend and she was like, actually it's not about quieting your mind, it's about just like letting your thoughts pass through and not holding on to them. And when she said that, it really changed my perspective on meditation and just kind of learning to let my mind and like my thoughts just like go through and not holding on to them, and not like obsessing over like whether something is right or wrong, or did this thing get done, or I need to do this later, and like all these are the things that go through my mind all the time. I just kind of was just like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with you later, and that's it. So if you're struggling with meditation, well, one, don't force it. Like it really is just not happening to you or for you, it's fine. Like just because something works for somebody, again, it doesn't have to work for you necessarily. And if truly meditating is just not your cup of tea, that is totally fine. Just because everybody else says that you should do it doesn't mean that you should do it. But if you do want to get in the habit of doing more meditations, I personally love guided meditations, so I do a couple ones on the Tone It Up app. I do some on the OpenFit app. There's actually some sound meditations, which I absolutely love. And then there's also, recently I did a program with FitOn, with a trainer, a meditation trainer. His name is DeAndre. And he's amazing, honestly. And FitOn is free, so you can actually download the app and do some of his meditations for free. Anyway, something else that I do is journaling. So there's actually two types of journaling practices that I have. One of them is my 5-minute journal every day. So every morning I use this 5-minute journal, and it is honestly awesome because, well, it is 5 minutes and I don't have too much time in the morning. So like I said, it's only 5 minutes and I can just like get it done, and I feel like a lot better because it asks you questions about what you're grateful for and what you hope happens today. So it really sets you in a good mood. My other form of journaling that I love is just freestyle journaling. I mean, literally, like the name says, it's just freestyle. So if I have something in my mind that's bothering me, I just like start writing just whatever comes out. Honestly, I like grab a piece of paper and pen, and I just like write whatever thought comes through, and I just like let all my thoughts like just like blast on that paper. Or sometimes I'll also write like a letter to myself, to like my younger self, and just kind of say positive things about like, remembering where I was 10 years ago or something, and just like what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and then just writing it today as like all your fears, like you overcame them, all the things that you wanted, you accomplished. So like it also serves as a reminder for me of like everything that you've worked so hard for, you've accomplished, so there's no reason why like you should feel so anxious and stressed about things potentially not working out because you've always found a way. I'm sure you've heard everywhere that prioritizing your sleep is so important, and really like getting enough sleep is and resting is just like crucial for your health. And I totally agree with that. And when I'm really stressed out, I really have to prioritize my sleep and resting and giving my body like time to recover, and just like my mind also just like slow down a little bit. I have my phone set up so that it tells me a reminder like at 9:30, and my watch actually does like a little like vibrating, and it tells me like, hey, it's time to get ready for sleep, like you need to go get ready for bed. And honestly, that has helped me like stay accountable and hold myself accountable and be like, okay, it is bedtime now, it's time to like, you know, go do your skincare routine and then just like read a little bit and go to bed and call it a night. And I noticed a huge difference in my body and my mind when I prioritize sleep. Like I feel so much better. I have obviously so much energy, and I just feel like everything just looks a little bit more positive when I am well rested. It really just gives me so much clarity, so I feel so much better the next day, and just like overall I feel more positive and less moody and just like everything in my life just kind of improves when I'm sleeping enough. Taking social media breaks and spending time away from my phone has also been so helpful when I'm feeling anxious and stressed out, because I feel like a lot of times social media can contribute to that stress, whether I'm like aware of it or not. I shared in a previous video about how important it was to really like watch what you consume in terms of the media, you know, whether that's TV or the news or social media, whatever it may be. I do think it is very important for your mental health. And for me personally, I notice that I feel a lot better when I'm spending time away from social media. Granted, I do work managing other people's social media accounts, so I can't fully stay away from social media, but at least from my own personal accounts, I try to take some breaks more often. You don't even have to fully give up social media. I think it's so important if you can set yourself some breaks, or, you know, like limits on how much time you're spending on social media. So you can tell yourself like, I'm gonna scroll on this app for like 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, I'm gonna, you know, close it and move on to whatever other task that I have going on. You can just tell yourself, okay, I'm giving myself permission to scroll for like 5-10 minutes, and then after that, I'm just gonna move on to whatever else. And I can do this for like 3 times a day. Another way that I manage my stress is by, well, like talking about it and connecting with others. So I do personally go to therapy, but I know that not everybody's able to, or, you know, has the means or wants to go to therapy. And so if you're not able to, for whatever reason, no judgment, there are other ways that you can still like, you know, talk about it and find that connection. Honestly, it would kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you just find a friend and you guys can go on a walk and talk, and, you know, you're getting that, you know, movement of your body, you're spending some time outside, and you're also connecting with somebody else. So that is a big one. Highly recommend it. But if you can't, then, you know, just call somebody. You can do it while you're going on a walk, you can do it while you're laying on the couch, whatever works for you. Connect with your loved ones, you know, your family, your significant other, whoever that may be, but just try to find that connection and know that you're not alone, because I feel like feeling alone and lonely can always just like make you feel so much worse and feel like the whole burden is on you, when it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. And again, I'm not saying to like pass on the burden to somebody else, but you can always talk it out. And I find that when I talk to somebody else about whatever I may be going through, they always give me great, new, fresh perspectives. And then I'm like, oh wow, okay, I didn't see things that way. And it might help you find a solution. It might help you find, you know, a different way of seeing things. And that to me is always very beneficial. And if you are able to go to therapy, or if you do already go to therapy, that is amazing, because it is really a great tool that I think a lot of us should have in our toolbox. I do think that diet plays a huge role in your mental health and just like your emotional well-being and stress management. And I don't mean diet in the sense of like, you know, dieting, but like diet in the sense of like your food, like what you eat every day. There are many studies that show the connection between your gut health and your brain, and, you know, like your emotions and everything else that goes on. There's a reason why the saying of trust your gut is a thing, because your gut is actually like your second brain. Like, it is crazy how much it does for you. And one of the best ways to keep your gut healthy is by eating healthy and eating gut-friendly foods. All I'm saying is, if you have the means to do it, find the food that is fresh and whole. And honestly, if you can, go to like a farmer's market. That's where you really will find like the best food, like the most fresh. I was about to say freshest. Is that a word? Anyway, like I said, your gut is so important. So, I mean, specifically for the gut, great things are like fermented foods and things like sauerkraut and kombucha and, you know, all that stuff. And I know it is not necessarily the tastiest. I personally love kombucha, not the biggest fan of sauerkraut, but it is really good for you. Lastly, I encourage you to do something fun, like really prioritize your hobbies or whatever you genuinely enjoy. Since I watched Marie Kondo, like whatever, years ago, whenever that came out, I really started living my life with the whole purpose of like just finding things that spark joy and anything that doesn't, letting it go. And for me, it's just very important that if I'm stressed out or anything, first of all, like it is very important to prioritize that when you're stressed out. But in order to also prevent getting really stressed out and anxious, the more you do things that you love and that you enjoy, the better you're gonna feel. So whether that is reading, sewing, going on a run, hiking, painting, you know, whatever it is that you genuinely enjoy, do more of that. And don't feel guilty because it isn't necessarily the most productive thing, because I would do that to myself a lot. I'd be like, you know, I enjoy doing XYZ, but I feel like I'm not being productive, so like it's just not good. But really, the fact that you're doing something fun and something that can help you relax or de-stress, that in itself is a huge deal. And it might not be the most productive task ever, but it is still a pretty big deal. So make space for the things that matter to you, make space for the things that you enjoy, and just do more of that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope that you can apply some of these stress management tips, ideas, things to your life. And if you have anything else that you do that really helps you relax, please leave it in the comment section, because I always love hearing what other people do, and maybe it might inspire me to do something else too. If you like this video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time!